This is the Nine Dragons Yo-Yo. It's the most advanced yo-yo technology in the world. And in this video, I'll be showing you exactly how it works. Most modern yo-yos have a single ball bearing in the center that allow them to spin for over 10 times as long as an old school yo-yo. But the Nine Dragons has 3 ball bearings, one in the center and 2 more that connect these free spinning outer shells to the yo-yo that allow you to catch it in midair while it's spinning. Because this yo-yo works a lot different than a normal yo-yo, you first have to learn 3 things about how this yo-yo is put together to avoid any frustration. If you want to learn these yo-yo tricks of the future, you can pick up a Nine Dragons yo-yo on my website, gentrystein.com, while they're still available. Or if you're looking for a more regular modern yo-yo, check out the Yo-Yo Master Pack on gentrystein.com. I curated this one specifically for the beginner. Let's go learn these tricks. First, how to take the yo-yo apart. If you grab both sides and try to unscrew it like a normal yo-yo, it's just going to make those outer shells spin freely. So in order to take it apart, you have to pinch the outer plastic shell against the metal base by squeezing it from the outside. I like to grab it with the thumb on one side and the pointer finger curled around the other. And make sure to squeeze it pretty hard so that outer plastic shell actually pinches against the metal base. Grab the other side the exact same way, and while keeping it squeezed, unscrew it 1 full turn. You should feel it loosen that way. Then just let go with the right hand, turn your hand over, pinch again, squeeze, turn. Do it one more time. Squeeze, turn, and keep doing that all the way until the yo-yo is fully taken apart. It should take around 10 to 12 turns or so, but just keep going until it's all the way taken apart. Now that the yo-yo is taken apart, let's disassemble it all the way so you can understand what each of the pieces are. Lift up those plastic shells, which should reveal the metal base on both sides, but as you can see on this one, it's a little bit tight. So we can take that axle and push straight down so it'll pop out. If both sides are tight, then we can just take the axle out of this side, screw it into this way, and let's pretend this one was tight. We just do the same thing, push it through, and that will get the whole yo-yo disassembled. So this is what the inside of the Nine Dragons looks like. You'll notice on one side of the plastic shell is the main center bearing. You can just take that off, make sure not to lose it. If it is a little too tight, you can use a Yo-Yo Factory multi-tool to just remove it like you would with any other yo-yo. Sometimes it's a little looser, so make sure not to lose it. And if you look at the other side of the plastic shells, that's where the other 2 ball bearings are. Flip it back to the inside, and that's where the response pads as well as the seat for the main center ball bearing is. Now let's put the yo-yo back together and wind it up. So we're gonna put the axle back into one side, and then we're gonna take the other metal base that doesn't have the axle and put it on top of your 4 fingers. Then take one plastic shell and put it on top. Then take the other metal half that has the axle and put it in the palm of your hand. Put the other plastic shell on top of that side with the axle sliding straight through. Lift up the side with the axle in it and put your 4 fingers underneath it. Pinch the plastic shells with both your thumbs and put the 2 pieces together. Don't let go of anything, keep pinching everything and screw the yo-yo together 1 full turn. Now you can let go with your right hand and put your thumb on the metal base this time and your 4 fingers on the plastic shell. Then just do 1 full turn, let go, do the same thing, thumb on the metal base, 4 fingers on the plastic shell, turn, keep doing this. And after a few turns, you'll notice the yo-yo should be all the way back together. Okay, this might seem like a lot at first, but once you do it a few times, it won't seem like so much. All right, we're ready to wind up our Nine Dragons and learn our first 3 tricks. You're gonna wind up the Nine Dragons pretty much the same as any other unresponsive yo-yo by grabbing one side and wrapping the string around your pointer finger, then around the yo-yo. After that, wind around just the yo-yo a few times, and this is normally where you'd let go of that loop and continue winding, but as you can see with the Nine Dragons, that just causes the yo-yo to spin on those shells. So instead of letting go of the loop, we want to keep that intact the whole time, all the way until the yo-yo is fully back to the hand. Finally, trick number 1, the pull start to bind. This trick is the perfect introduction to really using these free spinning outer shells of the Nine Dragons. It's actually really easy and it'll give you a great foundation for learning more Nine Dragons tricks. First, when the yo-yo's in the palm of your hand, make sure the string's going over the top of the yo-yo. Then grab one side and just pull your hands apart to start the spin of the yo-yo. And as you go to pull, your hand should be underneath the yo-yo. As you're practicing this trick or any other trick with the Nine Dragons, make sure not to squeeze those outer shells too hard while the yo-yo's spinning. That's just gonna slow down, watch this, the spin of the yo-yo or completely stop it. So make sure just to hold it lightly. From here, you can drop the yo-yo and go into regular unresponsive tricks, But for now, let's learn how to bind. When the yo-yo is spinning, all we're gonna do is wrap the string over the top of the yo-yo and fully around, then pull straight back toward ourselves. Now there's a little bit of technique here because we don't wanna just pull straight back or this happens. We want the yo-yo to actually come all the way back to our hand fully wound. So instead of just stopping, as soon as you pull back, you're gonna feel the yo-yo snag. So right at that moment, bring your hand back to the yo-yo so it can fully wind. And all together, it looks like this. And once you master the basic pull, start, and bind, you can try some variations where you actually throw the yo-yo into the string to create the bind. There's a ton of cool variations you can do with this concept. All right, we're ready for trick number 2, the hot potato. This trick will get you comfortable tossing and catching the 9 dragons, which, when incorporated into tricks, is really what makes the 9 dragons unique and makes those impossible tricks possible. Start with a side throw, and as the yo-yo swings up, catch it in your opposite hand. Now, you'll notice the yo-yo is still spinning, and you can feel that gyroscopic force as you move it around a bit. Remember not to pinch the yo-yo too tight. From here, you're gonna just toss it into your other hand, then back to the opposite hand. And now the final step, we're gonna pop the yo-yo up, and as the yo-yo's in the air, we're gonna undercut that string into a trapeze. From here, you can do a regular bind, or instead, you can catch the yo-yo and do the same bind as I showed you in the pull start. The only difference is because instead of pulling the yo-yo and causing a forward spin, we did a side throw this time, so the yo-yo is now spinning in the opposite direction. So instead of wrapping the string around the top of the yo-yo, we're actually gonna bring the string all the way around to the other side and then pull back from here. So anytime we start with a pull start where the string's going over the top of the yo-yo, and as we pull, it comes under, causing the yo-yo to spin forward, or if we do a regular front style throw, we're just gonna bind that first way I showed you by wrapping the string over the top and pulling back. But if we start from a side throw or a pull start where the string is going over the top as we pull, we can see the yo-yo is gonna be spinning backwards, and that's when we know we have to swing the string around and do the bind this way. And once you've mastered the basic hot potato, you can try catching the yo-yo in different ways to create some of your own original tricks. And from here, we're gonna step it up a notch. The third trick is the dragon triangle. Start with a side throw and catch the yo-yo in your opposite hand just like the last trick. From here, pop the yo-yo out of your hand and let the string rest over all of your fingers. From here, we're gonna swing the yo-yo up behind the string and catch it in the hand our string's attached to. You'll notice this creates an X in the string, and I want you to find the string that's touching your pinky. We're actually gonna toss the yo-yo into that string, creating a triangle. From here, all you have to do is pop the yo-yo out the front and go into a regular bind. This is just the beginning of tricks that are possible with the 9 Dragons yo-yo. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments and pick up a 9 Dragons only on GentryStein.com.